Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Android Weekly / Android Q&A. We go over all the latest news and answer all of your questions live. What a heck of a game, guys. We just saw in the Super Bowl. For those of you who did watch it, I basically immediately stopped watching it, set up for the show, and then it was, I don't even know who the MVPs are. So it was good a game. I don't care for either one team, but if your team won, great. If your team didn't win because of a bad call, sorry. All right, so now let's move on to the news. First of all, if you have a question that you would like to be answered on the show, please ask it at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com and just make sure your subject is question. All right, let's start off and let's show you guys everything that's been going on this week. We're going to start off with another S6 update. Yes, the S6 is the thing that everyone wants to know about. And now we will show you a bit of what we found out. So we've seen some schematics from the S6. And what we pretty much can confirm now is on the bottom, you have now these schematics are basically from case manufacturers. Unfortunately, case manufacturers have leaked out certain placements. And this is just the placement of things, but I'm liking what we're seeing so far. First of all, on the bottom, we have a standard size USB plug, so you're not going to get the bigger one anymore. But that does mean we probably won't have a water-resistant phone, it looks like. So I'm leaning towards a metal S6 now because of that. Now, on this side, we have the speaker grill. So the speaker is going to be on the bottom instead of on the back, which, thank God, I'm so sick of the speakers being on the back. And on this side, we have the headphone jack. So on this side, we have the headphone jack right there. Now, on the top portion, you have two little holes right here. Well, that is one for the IR blaster that will still be at the top, and then two for the microphone. The other microphone is usually towards the bottom around where the USB is. So I'm guessing it'll just be around the USB or even on this side closer to the headphone port. But yeah, so that is how our S6 is going to be laid out. Now, on the next picture over here, we also see that it will have a heart rate monitor, and the heart rate monitor will be on this side along with the flash as well. So they are going to continue from, like, see, this is the S5 active, and this is the new S6. So it's still going to have the heart rate monitor, just like before. It's just going to move it from the underneath the flash to on the side of it. So we will still have it, and it's going to be right there on the side. And if you're wondering, wait, is this what the front of the S6 is going to be like? No, they put a generic photo in the middle of it, so this does not by any means give you any sort of insight to what it will look like in terms of the device itself, but it does give you an idea of how the look overall of the phone will be. And then the S6 will work with the Gear VR. Hopefully you guys like some of the VR videos that I have been filming for you guys, and yeah, they're really good. I've loved doing all the VR videos, and they've been really well off. So yeah, hopefully you guys have been enjoying them. I've enjoyed filming them, and we have some more that should be coming up. So yes, hopefully you guys will keep enjoying those. And then the biggest thing about the S6 that we learned is that Qualcomm has confirmed that it has lost a large customer, which everyone believes is Samsung, and that yes, Samsung new series will not have the Snapdragon 810 because of overheating issues, according to Samsung. LG actually. So this was a funny back and forth, but pretty much we got confirmation. So this is the ending of it. But what happened was, if you watched last week's episode, we talked about like overheating issues. So this is what happened. Samsung said, you know, Qualcomm, we can't use your A10 processor because it has overheating issues. And we need it by this time. If you can't deliver by this time, we can't have it. Qualcomm fires back with, no, we can solve those issues. You're going to get a special version of the A10 even just for you, Samsung. LG does not like this, and LG first of all said that those claims before Qualcomm answered, LG said those claims are false. You know, we have the Snapdragon 810 on the upcoming G Flex 2, so it's false completely. Then They so after saying that, Qualcomm said, no, there is actually overheating issues. We'll give Samsung a special version of it. Then LG says, if you do this, we will sue you, Qualcomm, for giving Samsung some special treatment after giving us the A10. And now you're going to create like, maybe like an 811 or 810A, 810C, just like they did with the 801 series. There was 2 versions of it. So LG said they will sue Qualcomm. And in the end, what happened is that now Samsung is most likely going to not be having the A10 processor, as Qualcomm said, in their revenue stream is going to be downsized because in the next quarter they aren't going to have a large customer, which Samsung is by far the largest customer. All right. So first of all, so I'm going to do a separate video either today or tomorrow on all of the biggest news is probably during the week has been all the earnings. So this is the time of year when everyone reports on their earnings for Q4, which is October, November, December, which are the holiday season, traditionally the biggest selling season for smartphone in the mobile industry. And of course, everyone's talking about that. Apple sold 74.5 million, which is record breaking for them. I mean, they are usually in the 40 to 50 million. So that is huge for them, very huge for them. I'm really interested to see their Q1 numbers. But the reason why it's so big is because Samsung dropped to 74 when they were before higher. So essentially meaning that they tied. And this is obviously a big deal because they're like, holy shit, Samsung and Apple are pretty much on par with each other now. Although this is true, you have to realize about how different this is throughout the year. So, and again, I'm going to go in more in depth, so stay tuned for that video because I will go over LG's as well to show how many they shipped, and Samsung shipped, and Apple shipped, and everyone. So, but just to give you an idea, for the year in terms of sales, in terms of smartphone sales, Samsung sold 317 million, whereas Apple sold 192. So although the Q4 numbers are more closely, and this was big because last year in Q4, those numbers were 86 million from Samsung and 51 million from Apple, and that 51 was record breaking for Apple. They never had that many before. So this is why it's such a big deal, is because of the change and shift that Apple now has. But yeah, so this is really it's really gotten a lot of people's attention, of course, because they're like, holy shit, Samsung's really screwed. And I don't believe that Samsung's really in the fear mongering that people that want you to get views, they want to get views, they want to get hits on their channel, so they're just spreading like, holy shit, like it's catastrophic, Samsung is crashing, and they said the same thing about Apple last year. So, it's whatever gets ratings. It's whatever gets ratings. I still believe that both companies have their strong suits and both companies have their weaknesses. And, this year is going to be the year. I do agree with that. This year will be the year that either Apple will overtake it as the top selling smartphone manufacturer, which, but again, 300 to 192, that's over 100 million difference. So if they can take that title from Samsung, that'll be impressive. Samsung has had that title for the past 4 years, I want to say now. 4 years they've been the top smartphone manufacturer. They took it from Apple, actually. So it would be fitting if Apple would take it back. We will see. This is the year to get it. This is why I like that it's funny because the last 3, are about Samsung, and 2 of them being financial things. So I just wanted to explain that first. So the first big information is that Samsung is making all of Apple's chips for the next smartphone. So 75% of every Apple chip will come from Samsung. The other 25% will come from TSMC, which we did not have a final tally of how many they developed of the iPhone 6. And this just goes to show how many times we've gotten continuously that Apple tries to leave Samsung, but the other manufacturers cannot manufacture quickly enough to make it. TSMC was supposed to be Apple's salvations for their A series chips. They can't make enough, and now they're obviously only going to have them down to 25%, and Samsung doing more than the majority of it. So it really definitely stands out that Samsung's this hurt Samsung last year, and now Samsung's going to be more profitable this year because of this. Samsung also is making a big hit with their Z1 phones. Their Z1 series is their, the phones that are in with Tizen that are been in India, and they're costing $92, and they're selling well. They are exceeding expectations. And this really is a very smart move for one reason, and that's because, for underdeveloped places, these phones are going to make Samsung more profitable because they don't have Android on it. I mean, they don't have to pay Google per phone sold, which definitely helps. So that's going to be a big thing, I think, for Samsung in places as India and other places where either Android's not as big, or people just want a phone for under $100, either for affordability or as a secondary phone. And I think Samsung's going to do well with Tizen for those features. And finally, the last one is that Samsung has finally patented something which makes migrating screen homes from one phone to another. So this is going to be huge. I mean, I cannot tell you, I could not get through my phones without doing this. I have Nova Launcher, which if you're not familiar with launchers, look at my Nova Launcher video, and it's such a great feature that it will bring everything over from one home screen to another. So basically, your first device, all your icons, all your background, your widgets, everything is just sunk up. And this is a really great feature, and I cannot wait. This should have been the standard on Android, to be honest, a long time ago, and now we are finally getting it as a standard. So I think it's a really great feature. I have always had this feature, again, because of my Nova Launcher, and I cannot imagine having it without it. So I'm very happy about this. All right, now let's get to the questions that were emailed to me during the week. Again, if you have a question, just ask it at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com and make sure the subject line is question. If you are watching live, you can always ask a question and just ask it in the comment section. So you guys can start doing that now. Any questions you have, you can ask it in the comment section, and I will answer it before the end of the episode. So feel free to start asking, and I will get to those in a second. All right. So hi, Ricky. This is from Dorsal. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Love your channel. I would like to ask a question about phone radiation. I'm buying a phone for a 9-year-old girl, and I don't want to spend too much, so I would like to be a low-end phone. I guess the most important thing for me is phone recommendation with low radiation. What are your recommendations? I live in Israel, so if you happen to know, I recommend something. I'm not sure of the phones over there, unfortunately. But what I can tell you is, phone radiation has been tossed left and right in terms of, does it really cause cancer and harmful features? There have been plenty of studies that have proven one way, and there have been plenty of studies that have proven the other way. And unfortunately, there's just not really consistency. Over here in the U.S., the FDA, our federal, basically has said that the majority of studies have shown that no, it does not have an ill effect. It's a whole discussion about that. So despite that conversation, because that is a whole discussion, the thing where I have seen a more consistency of research studies has been for Bluetooth, that people have tested. I've seen studies last for 5 years and 10 years now on Bluetooth, and all the studies I've seen, which are about 4, have all shown that Bluetooth does not have any ill effect towards us with radiation wise or anything. So for that reason, if you're really worried about it, I might consider getting whatever phone you get with Bluetooth headphones. And that's my recommendation. Now, again, I don't know the phones you have over there in Israel. I have no way of accessing that. When I tried to look up Israel carriers, basically, I couldn't get anything. Like, everything was like blocked off. Like, your country doesn't have access to it. It was like all this kind of stuff. So I couldn't see. Now, I'm sure the big phones, the international phones, are available there. So I would go with a more trusted company, such as like Samsung, Apple, Motorola, or HTC, LG. One of those companies I would trust more than maybe a company that might be more regional. If you've had issues with radiation, in those kind of countries, then you might not want to, you might want to go with a really well brand name for that purpose. But you also might want to get our Bluetooth headphones. I do not have mine with me. Oh, actually, I have these. So I carry the Samsung Circles now, but these are my old LG Tones. Great headphones. They cost about $40 here in the U.S. $50. These are the old style ones. Perfect. So you can talk on the phone like this, and it's like a necklace around her neck, and you know I think it would be fine. They come in pink and different colors, so they hopefully that will help. But yeah, that would be my recommendation. Is if you're really worried about radiation, I might go with Bluetooth headphones, since the studies have been more consistently they do not harm, comparing to cell phones themselves. As said, that I am not scientific in that way, so I'm not the right person to discuss how cell phone radiation hurts. But what I have seen again more consistently is Bluetooth has not been found to harm. Um, all right, on to the next topic. Margot, hey Margot. Uh, I want to put Flash Player on my Note 10.1 2014 edition. How do I install it? I've seen some compatible explanations on websites. Sometimes sites say a Flash browser to use a Flash browser instead. I'm too chicken to stray away from Google Chrome. Please help. I'm an older person and first-time tablet user, just struggling to understand all of this. Your videos are great. Bless you. So yeah, Margot. So I have videos on this kind of stuff. I'm going to look up one of them right now, if I can get. So I have videos on this kind of stuff, like how to. I think the last one I did it on was like the S5, and okay, so I have a couple of them. I guess I need to do a new one, but the one I can quickly find is how to install Adobe Flash on the Galaxy S4. So let me just share this with you. This is what you're looking for on my channel. I also have another one like this too. This one was 1 year ago, so it's more recent. And it has the download link right here. But yeah, unfortunately, Chrome itself, the browser Chrome, does not support Adobe Flash, so you will not be able to use Adobe Flash on it. So just go to that link on my channel, and the video goes over step by step of how you use that. With I believe the one I used it at the time with was Firefox, and that should help you in order to do it all. So if you're having any issues, that should solve it. All right. And the next one is from Raphael. Raphael, I'm new to Android and have a Note 4. I read a lot of articles on boosting RAM, task killers, etc. I've read articles on the same topic. It says not because the Note 4 handles RAM on its own. What is my take on this? Oh, the age-old question. Do I get a speed booster, or any of these kind of things? No, you don't. No, you don't. Yes, this goes back to kind of knowing Android and knowing how the internals work, and that is one thing that any kind of techie person will let you know of. So here's the thing: Android, the OS itself handles RAM, handles all of that kind of technical stuff for you, so you don't have to. these apps that you download are more of a placebo effect, meaning that like when you clear RAM, it's doing it by itself. You don't need to do it. Um, Not to mention, you have to think of logic in terms of if you're downloading an app in order to run in the background at all times and check every single thing on your phone, how is this app running at all times going to make your phone faster? When you're clearing the RAM, you're stopping the other apps from running so that this app can run. That's what you're doing. So yeah, no, I completely avoid all of those. The only ones is if you're not too tech savvy, I don't mind I think it's called Clean Master. You clean up all the junk you have. That's fine. And then you uninstall it, but you do not use it on a daily basis. Even this is a little bit of a placebo, but if you really want to like get rid of the stuff on your Android device, you hit the multi-screen button. 1 second. So you hit the multi-screen button and then you close all the apps. And that's fine. You can do that. And again, even that's a little bit of placebo, but we'll get away from that part. But yeah, that is enough. You don't need to do more than that. That closes all your running apps so that it kind of I don't want to say something the techies are going to be mad at me for, but in simple terms, it basically makes it so that your apps are not running, like the cache is a little bit better. Let's just call it that. So that apps running in the background aren't needed anymore. But so if you want to use something like Clean Master, that's fine. Use Clean Master and then take it off once you're done. And that's that. All right. Can Richard ask, can my GS3 from Verizon be unlocked if I wanted to switch over to T-Mobile? Also, how do you like T-Mobile compared to Verizon? Well, Richard, as some of you guys know, I've actually recently made this move. So I recently moved from Verizon to T-Mobile. This was a big change for me. I had been with Verizon since AirTouch. I mean, I was with Verizon before Verizon was Verizon. So it was a big change for me. And, the biggest thing I had to fear was everything I heard about, like, oh my God, but Verizon's the best coverage. You're going to go away from Verizon. And in the end, I have 5 lines. I took them all and moved them over to T-Mobile. And so far, it's been a great experience. The bill has been a lot cheaper. And my speeds in Los Angeles have not been noticeably less. Actually, they've been a bit faster. However, I will say that like on the drive from here to Las Vegas, I did have less signal at times compared to what I used to have at Verizon. So I do understand that, like, if you're not in a metropolitan area, then it might not be the best for you. But if you're in a metropolitan area, there's no reason that you need, like, say, Verizon or AT&T, because T-Mobile is faster than them in those certain areas usually. So now going on further with that, though, can the S3 from Verizon be unlocked to work for T-Mobile? I don't believe so. All new Verizon ones, so the S5, for instance, or the Note 4 from Verizon, if you kind of upgrade to the Note 4 for Verizon, then cancel your plan with T-Mobile, with Verizon, and then take that Note 4 over to T-Mobile, trade in your S3, then you can use your Note 4 on T-Mobile. Yes. You have to get it unlocked, though, regardless. So if you get it unlocked, once you get it unlocked, then you're all set. Because once you get it unlocked, then you can take it over to T-Mobile. Now, how do you unlock it? There's websites. I used one time. It's been a while since I used it, but it was like Cellphone Unlocker, not Cellphone Unlock. So there's 2 different websites. I think it was Cellphone Unlocker, and I used that website. It was $29, and I unlocked the phone. Then I was able to use it with another carrier SIM, and that was that. So yeah, Richard, that will be how that process goes. All right. Not sure if the health has been good on the stream. I know it's been having a little bit of issues. But if you have any questions, ask them now, or we might cut this episode a little bit shorter than usual, which is fine. That way I can do more videos for you guys, and so that's good. Yeah, it looks like no questions this time. Wow, last time we had the biggest comment. Everyone's probably watching Super Bowl, which I understand completely. I was debating if even having this episode, but at the end I decided no, I want to have it for you guys because I just don't want to, not consistently do these episodes for you guys. All right, guys, we will call that a show then. No questions in the comment section. So thank you as always for watching. Please give a like, thumbs up down below. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.